Good afternoon. I'm very glad to be here to welcome you from a network-based municipality, Järve municipality. So what are we talking about? If we look at the northern part of Järve municipality, it takes less than an hour to get to central Tallinn. If you go to the southern part of Järve municipality, it takes less than an hour to drive to Tartu city center. But if you drive from the north of Järve municipality to the south, it takes a bit more than an hour. So the surface area of our municipality is one of the biggest in Estonia, and our population is about average. We have a bit more than 9,000 people, and Järve municipality just celebrated its 5th birthday. Our budget is 26 million euros. This includes different budgets from 7 previous municipalities. I am not a specialist in environment, but I work in development, and someone who does this kind of job has to look at the world trends. And out of these 7 municipalities that joined in Järve County, I have been the head of 2. But if you're in Järve municipality, you can see the traditional Vargamäe region, or you can go to ski. You can also go to Estonian Dairy Museum, or in Imavere you can see the biggest roadside restaurant, Tikupoiss. In the middle of Järve municipality, in Järve-Jaani, you can visit a number of museums. There is around 10 of them. But coming back to look at the map of Järve municipality, what makes us so special then? We are made up of 7 united municipalities. And if you took another municipality with the same population in Estonia, there are usually a couple of schools, whereas we have about 10 schools. Usually there are a few kindergartens. We have about 10. We also have 15 libraries and the library bus. We have 3 major centers where the population is around 1,000. And we also have 5 smaller centers where public services are offered. These are former municipality centers. If we look at the tasks of the local municipalities and what is the part of circular economy, I read the Local Government Organization Act. I know that a new version of this act is about to be published, and I wonder if the word circular economy will appear there. Regarding education and service provision, I found that the municipality is responsible for the provision of spatial planning, public services and amenities, waste management and spatial planning. So all of these are part of circular economy. The topic of education is also important. We have watched videos of children today, and this reminds us that everything starts from the beginning. This year we put together the new development plan for the municipality. The old development plan was put together in 2018. We realized that there was no mention of the green transition, of climate plans, of circular economy, because back in 2018 these terms were not so relevant yet. Our development plan is built on strategic goals. The Järve municipality development plan traditionally does not include an action plan. We don't tend to say that in September 2023 we will renovate the heating system of this specific school. No, we prefer to give strategic goals, and every year we put together the action plan, which is closely monitored, and the results of which are shared with the council. During the process of drawing up the development plan, we had several development seminars where we talked about green transition, climate, energy saving. And we did not know what to do with this. We wanted to include the term circular economy, but then the question arose what this meant for us. And to be honest, we did include this term, and we wrote that in the context of development activities, we are operating in line with circular economy. However, by the end of this development plan, in 2030, things may be different. This year, we also adopted the new waste management regulation of Järve municipality, which states that waste should be prepared for reuse or recycle. The general plan of Järve municipality has been adopted, and the publication period is over. There will be public discussions from next week onward. This has been a process of several years, developing this general plan. But again, when I looked for the term circular economy, I could not find this. However, there is mention of energy saving and optimization of costs. Along with the 3 municipalities in Järve County, we are drawing up the Järve County Energy and Climate Plan, and we also have a detailed plan, a special plan for wind parks. This does not include the entire area of the county, but only 600 square kilometers, approximately half of the county. The aim is to find areas where wind farms could be installed. I don't know how many of you work in local municipalities, but I can see in my department, where we also have people who work in construction, that they are very keen on solar farms, wind farms. A lot of people are interested in them, and therefore I am sure that we will have solutions for wind farms. I would like to go back to the title of my presentation, where I have mentioned the common sense from lignin to asphalt using the example of Andres of Vargamäe from a well-known Estonian book. This common sense is something that our people have had for hundreds of years. The need to save, the need to cope, but it is also a new topic and a new need. In addition to the official documents, we have also carried out a number of studies, and these have a practical output as well. In 2019, the analysis was published for the optimal regional structure of organizations in Järve county government. And we decided that there should be more structuring in the municipal service provision in general. Based on this survey of 2019 and taking into account all the buildings of the municipality, renovating all these buildings would have cost 29 million euros, but our budget was much smaller. Considering the prices at the construction market, at the moment we can probably double this 29 million euros by today. We will probably never be in a situation where facilities of the municipality are fully up to date, but the problem is that the depreciation takes place faster than we are able to renovate them. We have also made changes in the cultural sector. We have put some cultural centers together. We have also rearranged library structure. We have one Järve County General Library. We also have the General Sports Center, which manages all sports halls of the municipality. And we also have the Youth Work Center of Järve Municipality, which is responsible for all the youth centers, which are 9 in our municipality. These are steps that we have taken. They are mostly related to the management practices, but there are also some steps taken in real estate sector. You might wonder how this all links to circular economy. Well, this is our approach to circular economy, sustainability, and needs-based approach. Let me give you an example. The Aravet secondary school building is in the municipality of Aravet. This is an area of 1,600 people. The building is made up of 3 parts. The old part, a 100-year-old school building, the new part built in 1980, and the even newer part built in 1987, the sports hall. The surface area is overall about 4,000 square meters. Up to now, the secondary school building was used for school students, and it was also the sports hall was used for sports classes. We have, however, now renovated one part of the building so that there is a service center of the municipality located there. Albu municipality's building was given to a village community, and they organize very interesting events there. We have also set up a GP center at the same building. We have a library there, and we have a temporary kindergarten there, all in the same school building. The state has given us funding for a new Aravet kindergarten building. The old one is being demolished as we speak, and we are looking for more resources in order to complete this project. When the project was introduced last spring, the budgeted construction price was 2.4 million euros, then now it is 4.4 million euros. And we are still missing 2 million euros, which is not little money. We also have one museum in the area, Aravet Village Museum. So an idea is to bring the exhibits of this museum to the lower ground floor of the secondary school. So we have tried to make the use of space more reasonable and more convenient for our people. My own GP is in Peetri, in Järve municipality, and whenever I go there, I always go to Peetri library as well, because the reading area is in the foyer, which is also the entrance to the GP office. So this is just one example. Regarding energy savings, we currently have 4 projects that have received funding. The funding is aimed at renovating the buildings, and we plan to carry it out next year. We also want to ask for funding for new buildings to be built. And regarding energy-saving buildings, last spring, Imavere rental house was built. This is the first building in the region and possibly in Estonia that was of its kind, that was built in Estonia after Estonia became independent, and it is a zero energy building. Let me give you another example from Koeru Cultural Center. I don't think they have ever called what they are doing circular economy, but I believe this is the best example of a circular economy that you can have in a municipality. For a long time, they've had some ads published on social media and on their walls, inviting people to donate their old things to them. Just like everywhere else in Estonia, home cafes have become very popular. And they realized that they didn't want to have plastic chairs and tables. They also didn't want to buy a lot of cutlery and crockery from using their small budget. So they have welcomed donations. They have also got clothes for different theater plays as donations. There is a book exchange shelf present where anyone can donate their books, and try not to pick up all the available books, but you can pick up books from this shelf. There have also been car boot sales where the local community has been able to use their space to sell their things in a flea market style event. What I like most about them is their courage and their motivation. They also happened to read on the newspaper that a hotel in Tallinn was about to be renovated, and they wrote to the hotel asking if they were willing to donate any of their old furniture. And the hotel got back to them a few days later, saying they could come a few days at a specific time and they could take anything they wanted. In the picture on the right, you can see a picture of children in a reading class. All this furniture and lamps here are from this hotel that was renovated. We don't know where this furniture would have ended up otherwise, but we were able to make very good use of it. Regarding research, we have tried to be at the forefront, and when I was drinking coffee one morning, I read that the Land Architecture Center of a museum in Tallinn was looking for a place where they could carry out a study. Since we know that the museum had already worked in our area before, we wrote to them and we volunteered as the municipality where the museum came to analyze our old architecture, and this was our possibility to make our contribution to the renovation marathon. So we can say that if by the year 2050, for which we have a goal that our homes and offices will be smartly renovated, we can say that we have made a contribution to this project. We also have textile containers, and this is a good example that if a company is not able to do something, a community has to. A company brought clothing containers for half a year, but it seemed too expensive for them, so the municipality took it over, paying for these containers. So we fund these. We also have insect-friendly areas. This was something that received a lot of media attention. On one hand, people were asking, why are you not cutting your grass? And on the other hand, others were saying, thank God you finally came to your senses. Estonians are very good at cutting grass, but in Järve municipality we are trying to cut back. Thinking about how to make services more available locally, the library bus route is probably the best example. But we cannot always be perfect. Let me give you an example. On the 19th of March 1919, at municipality meeting, there were 5 members of the municipality, a secretary, and 9 office staff. These people came from 6 different villages, and they traveled a lot of kilometers for a 45-minute meeting. Now we have switched to Teams meetings, so we can meet at the office, but it is also possible to be present via Microsoft Teams. And we are also the first municipality in Estonia that started to use their own app. Local municipality has to be a creator of space for entrepreneurship. Järvamaa is a granary for Estonia, and we actually have more cows than people. 31,000 cows and a bit less than 30,000 people as of the census of 2019. Did you know that Järve County cows produce more milk than the average of Estonia? This is because we have very good soil. We also have a biomethane production plant since 2008. This is located in Järve, and if you take a gas-based bus in Tallinn or in Tartu, remember that these gas-fueled buses use biomethane that comes from the cows of Järve County. The Järve biomethane production plant produced more than 13 gigawatt hours of electricity energy and more than 2,000 gigawatt hours of heat energy that was used for heating the town of Järve. My grandmother said that there are some things you might need to know in life. When I think about my grandma, she consumes a lot less than I do. She's also much better at recycling things than I am. But one company's success story can turn into several companies' success story. Thermal Arena is an example of how in Koigi thermally processed wood production started some years ago. This is the picture of an office building in Norway made of wood that is from Järve County. This wood is exported to 30 countries across the world. But what about the waste? A carpenter that worked in New York for years and came back home started making thermally processed terrace and flower boxes from this. And another company started using this waste for producing candle wicks and candle holders. Once you have finished burning a candle, you can clean the glass candle holder in dishwasher, and you can reuse it eternally. Local municipalities should create environment for entrepreneurship. We can say that Järve County is the biggest wood cluster in Estonia. We have a number of different companies that produce wood pellets, other wood products. We also have the Fibenol experimental factory, which is starting to produce new generation sugars, as well as lignin and cellulose. They use the leftovers of plywood factories, and with the help of scientists from Tallinn University, they partially replaced bitumen with lignin. This is a wonderful example of the fact that if a municipality gives companies an opportunity to operate, big things can come from it that change the world. We have also published conditions for the use of byproducts of production. And for the production of biogas. So I would like to invite you all to visit us. If these examples were not enough, then here are some events that we are going to hold. Estonian Literature Week in January, Church Festival in July, and in September we have the Museum Festival. Thank you. Thank you, Triin. We have some questions.
It's a very specific question. Well, I saw also that our mayor was here among the audience, so maybe he can answer. But it's a question about the school in Järve. As we've heard, you are probably planning to close down the school. Have you ever been thinking about moving the kindergarten into the house of the school? Yes, temporarily the kindergarten is already now there. And before the kindergarten will and when the kindergarten will be ready built, then the youth center would move in there. But today I read also that the program of rental houses will once again be initiated. Because on one hand we invite people to move to countryside, and it might seem that there is a lot of space in the countryside. But if you would open a real estate portal and try to find a place to live in our municipality, there's not much available. And therefore, although I was talking about houses where we offer different services, but about private houses or also apartments in apartment houses, we should think where the areas are where we could construct something new. But now I'm coming back to your question whether the kindergarten could remain where it is now. On one hand, yes. It could stay even in the future in the same building. But as there are many other public services also located in the same building, then why should only young children in cities have new kindergartens? I think that kids from rural areas deserve it as well. And in your county, the density of inhabitants is very low. What do you think if maybe the private sector would be interested to construct new houses there? And immediately, of course, they would think about liabilities, etc. But are there any possibilities for cooperation with the private sector? I think that there are, because all of these unused buildings have roofs where you could place also solar panels. But all these market failures that nowadays exist and that we have been trying to find solutions for. And in Järve County, we try to find a partner for financing such a project, and we didn't find it, although later we did. But the topic of market failure is the reason why private sector would not come to rural areas that easily. But always you can turn to us with your inspiring ideas. Thank you very much, Triin.